What's up, champions? Welcome back to our show. I'm very excited to be here in a sunny Berlin once again. It's been 5 years since we started our jetboard testing tour with Wayne from Jetboard Limited and with Andreas from eSurfer.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. It's really good to see you again, and we had some fun already yesterday, and today we will rock the foils.
5 years ago, basically, there were no efoils, and now the whole industry of efoils is growing. But today we have something really different and very special. It's a first jet efoil from Audi called Aerofoils e-tron.
Exact. Audi e-tron foil by Aerofoils is the official name.
Yeah. And the best part, Andreas here in Berlin has all these toys ready for you to get rentals and lessons. So reach out to Andreas and get your lessons going.
Yes, you're always welcome. We are right here at the water. Just come by, visit Berlin.
I cannot wait to learn everything about this new and interesting efoil. So let's get started. First things first, this is basically the first jet-propelled efoil. By the time of this recording, I know now 3 companies trying to do jet propulsion for efoils, but this one was doing it from the start. They started a few years ago doing efoil based on jet propulsion. So Andreas, I know you're a close friend of the developer, so tell me more. Why did they start with this idea going jet propulsion from the start?
Yes, I think main reason is really safety. You know, an open propeller has a certain risk. They started 2018, the first prototypes were available. I was riding the first prototype 2019. At that point it was not powerful enough to lift me up. It was a prototype, and jet propulsion, or how they call it, fully shielded propeller, is not as efficient, but now it has no problems. You will see later on they really made a long way, 4 years, and it's finally here since this year.
Yeah, it's very interesting. They have official Audi logo on this. At first some people were thinking this is just a gimmick for a trade show, but now we see it's actually a real product, a real company. So tell me how they get into this.
Right, there are 2 co-founders, and the co-founder and CEO Franz is actually was an Audi employee and is still an Audi employee, and Audi liked this project and supported this project, and it became finally a Audi spin-off. So Audi is an investor, and they officially are allowed to use the logos, and they can use the Audi facilities for research and for testing and so on. So it's kind of Audi.
It's very cool because they get the advantage of professional equipment. You've been telling me they have special tests running. Tell me more about this.
Exactly, yeah. Franz told me at some point they usually test the cars how they would look like after 10 years. So they have special rooms where they simulate, you know, it's freezing, sun is hot, and he said he puts the boards into it and simulated 3 years to get a good understanding what he needs to change on the materials and so on. So this is something which is really hard for a startup normally, but he can actually leverage this from a big company like Audi.
And I heard that somebody already has been running this board in Dubai, in Emirates, for a while on the hot weather.
Exactly. So they currently wanted to start only in Europe, just to have the boards close. I mean, many companies do this the first year, but they have a partner in Dubai which is running the boards already since 6 weeks, and they are on the water every day. They wanted to see how it is in salt water, and it's very hot. And Franz said me just last week, so far so good, so everything is good. We have fresh water here and it's not so hot, so they work very well, but they need to be tested in the heat as well.
There you have it, the first efoil that started commercial production based on the jet. Take a look, guys. So I'm still a little bit confused, to be honest. What's the difference between propeller, shielded propeller, impeller and the jet?
You know what, you're not the only one. I asked actually many experts. I asked Franz from Aerofoils, I asked Merten Strötzel, Pacific Master from efoil builders. So what's the difference? So basically said, well, it was very complicated. I didn't figure it out. They say, okay, there's a propeller, then obviously it's a propeller, and then there's an impeller, and if it's an impeller it should be a jet propulsion. Audi, however, calls it fully shielded propeller because you cannot touch it, right? Whatever you do with your feet or hand, you cannot touch it, so it's very safe. So yeah, it's a good question, and I hope somebody can answer it to me at some point.
And how do you find it? Is it more efficient, less efficient, more noisy, less noisy?
I think it's actually very silent, and we will hear later on. It is also very smooth. It's kind of acting like a folding propeller or a tube ride propeller, because it has less resistance other than a propeller when it stands. I really enjoy it, but you have to find out later on. I think in terms of efficiency, in theory, an open propeller will be always more efficient, and I'm sure they are. However, according to France, they put a lot of efforts in it, that they brought up the range up to 2 hours according to Aerofoils, which is in the range of the propeller.
Very impressive, but like we see here, they had to change the wings to the high aspect ratio wings, right, to get more range.
Yeah, I think this is one of the reasons. In general, they have a very unique philosophy about wings, and this is because the other co-founder, Chris Rössler, he was, I think, world championship with small planes, and he built them himself, so he has a lot of experience in aerodynamics, which is similar to hydrodynamics, and you will feel it later on. I think this is really special, because from my understanding in the past, each wing had a certain speed range. No matter how much power you would give, they just have their range of speed, and you go smaller and then they get faster, the efoils. This seems to have a much broader speed range, something like you can ride 24 kilometers an hour, but you can also go over 40, and just with one wing. So yeah, it is definitely a different philosophy. It is a little bit more difficult to ride when you start, because high aspect wings are more sensible, but once you manage it, it's really a cool feeling in my understanding.
It looks very cool. It doesn't look big at all to me. The quality looks amazing. That's what you expect from the German company like Audi.
It's currently the most expensive efoil. I mean, it's about like 800 euro more expensive as a lift foils, for example. But they are kind of in the range, but it's currently the most expensive. But yeah, they put a lot of effort into it.
And does the jet add extra weight? How heavy is the whole setup?
I think the entire board, and we can put it on the scale later on, I think it's 32 kilogram, including the battery. Yeah, it's in the range of the others. They're usually around 30 kilograms.
Alright, let's measure exact weight. $19.4 kilograms.
13.2.
And very interesting to say, we have here one of the longest masts in the industry. You've been measuring, yeah? What's that?
That's right. I mean, you have not like lift, for example, which has a propulsion here. They have it done like flightboard, that actually you can use the entire mast. But then it is also the longest mast with 80 centimeter, I think, efficient mast length. So which you really can use, because you can use it until here, right? So you can go very high. And they make a lot of tests because of stiffness. There's a machine you can see in one of my videos where they're actually putting pressure on the mast. It seems to be very robust and stable.
Now let's cover the battery and the remote. Show us the battery, Andreas.
Yes, so you have a battery on the one hand here, plastic, aluminium on the other hand. It's using standard connection for the power. It's actually the same than Flightboard is using. It's from a third-party company, and they have one data cable. Shall we put it in? Like with more or less any efoil, you have the latches to turn it open. You see, pretty clean from the inside. You don't have a battery locker, so they made it in a certain angle here so that it actually fits without. Obviously, I have to turn this protection thing off, and it has a magnet here inside, so you connect the two power cables, and then you connect the data cable, and when the magnet will reach here, it will actually turn on.
Here we got the remote. It looks like one of the most advanced remotes on the market.
Yes, it has a very bright color display, which we will probably show later on. It has 3 kind of settings for beginners and intermediate and advanced, but then in each level you have 10 gears, so you have 30 gears in total where you can adjust how aggressive and how fast the trigger gets you.
Plus it has a lot of other features, such as showing your speed,
exactly.
GPS, yeah?
That's right, you can always see the speed where you are. It will actually track your ride. There will be an app very soon where you actually can see where you did right and what the performance was, what the speed was at certain time. And yeah, I like it because it's very easy to read. I'm getting old, so I need reading glasses sometimes, but this one works still very well for me.
Show me.
Okay, let's turn it on. You see the display, 100% battery, that's good. It's always locked at the beginning, so that's a safety mechanism. It's safe already anyways, but you know, it's still locked. You choose one of the modes, go in, and then it says motor locked. Unlock here, and then it's locked.
That's the sound of jet efoil.
That's right.
Very cool. Cannot wait to try it out. Everything looks really exciting to me, but the board, to be honest, is quite big. Do they plan the smaller board, more professional setup?
Yes, they do. So this is in the range like the Aerofoils Cruiser or the Flightboard Standard. This is what, to be honest, in Europe or in Germany, like 70 to 75% of the people take. Still this year, they say in June, there will be a shorter version of the board, so which would be equal to the Flightboard and Aerofoils, and there will be additional 3 wings. So board smaller wings to make it more aggressive.
So this is pretty much professional board from the start. With few more additions, it will be.
I think it took them, they took the time. You know, I think Audi wants to make sure if they bring something with their name on it, that it has to be proper and work and good quality. And yeah, I'm very excited. I ride it now since I did test rides earlier last year, 3 years ago. But I mean, this year I maybe used it about 10 times, and it's really a lot of fun. I think you will enjoy it. I'm really looking forward because you are a different rider than me. You are riding waves with folding props. I'm more this freshwater guy here. So I'm really looking forward to your opinion, what you think about it.
And I'm very surprised to see there is so much new people coming into this industry, especially from the car fans. On the trade shows, everybody is excited about this jet efoil because it's shielded, so people think it's more safe. Maybe this can be the key for the mass adoption of efoils. What do you think?
Yeah, this is very interesting. I mean, over the past 3 years or 4 years, it really has developed. The earliest customers were people in my age or your age who did windsurfing, kite surfing, who always were into water sport, and now they wanted to have something new, you know. Then the second kind of customers were boat owners. You know, they needed some tools or some toys when they are on the water the entire day. And now I have more and more people who just get attracted also by Audi and general social media, who have no water sports background at all, right? They just see it as it's a great toy and I have the money, I want to spend it, so hey, why not? So yeah, I think the adoption is getting broader and broader with different kind of people.
And especially I think this shielded propeller can help with the regulations in countries like Canada or Switzerland, where it's not allowed to efoil with an open prop.
Yeah, I think certainly in Canada it should help. Well, I'm sure it will help because this is what they're saying, the propeller is the issue. Switzerland, I'm unfortunately not so sure. They recently got a new law, and I think they just want to ban any new thing on water because it's so crowded, especially with subboards. There's so many people on the water that they, I don't know, I hope it will change. Same for Bavaria and Germany, where the lakes currently they ban these kind of boards because they are in private ownership, and the owner says no. So we will see, but this will definitely help. It will, yeah, protect any kind of, you know, accident.
Yeah. All right, I cannot wait to try it out in the water with you today. It's such a good day in Berlin. It's already summer. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's ride it. Noise levels are quite low. I can even talk to you. There you have it, guys. It was my first experience with jet propulsion in efoils. It was very interesting to see. The noise levels are pretty good. It's very smooth, and with high aspect ratio wings it was quite easy to start planing, start going. The board shape is quite big, so it's very floatable. You can sit on it, relax, enjoy the sun, have a beer and have a good time. The only thing I didn't like is the board shape. it's quite big and very sticky to the water, so I hope they will improve it in future and make a smaller professional version. All in all, seems like a great board, and I cannot wait to see where this trend is going with jet propulsion in efoils. And of course we'll keep testing this board. I'm also interested to see how it will perform in the wave, what kind of drag we're going to experience. But on a flat lake like this, it works like magic. That's all for today, guys. Thank you again for watching, and as always, don't forget to subscribe. Keep on riding. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!
Oh, let's go!
Woo! We're ready to go. We unlock the board. And go! On your knees, and once you're comfortable riding on your knees, you can start trying to stand up. There you have it, guys. We had an amazing day testing the new board here in Berlin. Thank you again, Andreas, for inviting me. It's always a pleasure to come here in Berlin and try out the new toys. So if you want to try the new boards, make sure to check out eSurfer and all the new boards. Thank you, Andreas.
Hey, thank you so much for coming, Mike.
Cheers.
And of course, don't forget to subscribe Jet Surfing Nation.
All-Star Jetboard Testing Tour is brought to you by Wayne from Jetboard Limited. Wayne is a well-recognized expert in the industry, and his company is proud to be the only one in the world that deals with and supports all the different brands, letting the customers try the boards before they buy them. If you'd like to buy a jetboard or are interested in getting into the jetboard industry, then please contact Wayne. Andreas from eSurfer magazine. He is a major part of the growing community of electric jetboarders and efoilers. He is also the creator of his own blogs eSurfer, eBoarder, and the new eSurfer forum. And Mike from Jet Surfing Nation, who is a passionate jet surfer, efoiler, and video guy. He loves the industry and has been a key player in ensuring this new sport continues to grow. Mike's mission is to try and review every existing jetboard on the market, further helping advancements in the industry and making his awesome videos along the way. If you want to join our next tour or event, present your jetboard or efoil, do an interview, sponsor, or simply try the different boards before you buy, reach out to Wayne from Jetboard Limited. Jetboard Limited have branches all over Europe and are expanding globally, so contact the team to find out who your local dealer is or visit their headquarters and testing center in Soto Grande, Spain. See you in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe.